applications. We have a lot of individuals deciding to join, and we are there for all of those people who want to be here with us. So thank you so much. Please go ahead and turn off your mics, just because it gets in the way of, we could hear background noise and that could really interfere with the talk and everything. And I am recording this, of course, so that we will have a recording available that we can put into a replay site and have people who cannot be here because they work or they have kids or they've taken care of their elders and it's not possible for them to be here live. But thank you for those who are being here live, and I am so excited. I've been getting so many messages all day. I'm so excited. When does it start? And I'm like, I'm just as excited as you are because one, this is the first time in a year that I've offered this event. Two, I think it's more timely than ever that people are in this event. Go ahead and just mute your mics. Mute your mics. Help me out and mute your mic, please. And I will do my best to make sure that you are muted, but just go ahead and just check that real quick. Okay. So two, it's just a good time to be self-sufficient, right? It's a good time to be self-sufficient. If you're in the Richmond area, which is where my company, Laura's Botanicals, is based, we had some water infrastructural issues because of the recent snow, and the city water was turned off for over a week. And that got me thinking, you know what? It's time to become an herbalist because self-sufficiency is imperative because we can't all rely on the larger systems. We have to have our own self-governance and our own abilities to grow our food, grow our herbs, participate in community, participate in local food systems. And so that is what this whole event is about. And then three, the other reason why I'm super excited is because this is the first time since 2020 that I've offered herbalism group programming and bringing it back full circle in my company because we've been doing this in Richmond, like I said earlier, since 2017. My name is Laura Baum, and I'm the founder of Laura's Botanicals, and I'm the facilitator of this event. So go ahead and just do me a favor and make sure your mics are muted. That means going to your actual bottom of your screen and just looking for that. And we will have a chance to have people go off mic throughout this week. You have the chat bar. And the chat bar is a really good place to put all your questions. So if you guys, and I'll also do something, I'll save the chat so that at the end of the event, I can download everybody's chat and we can make sure that everybody gets all the information and questions answered in those recaps. If you are not a member of the Facebook group, you can go ahead and find that on Facebook. It's just Become an Herbalist 5-day live event. Although I originally marketed it as a 5-day event, and it's not a 5-day event, is it? It's a whole week. So we have 8 sessions, 7 lined up and 1 bonus session. So you're going to be getting new content every single night. And I'll make sure you get the workbook in just a second in the chat if you don't have that too, which is a great writing tool and a reflection tool to help you stay engaged and stay in the moment with this event. All right. Great to see so many wonderful people and to have had conversations so far with you all. So there's 2 parts to this full registration, the Zoom registration, and those who are in Zoom registration, I can send all of your emails and replays to, as well as the Facebook group. And the Facebook group is where all of the giveaways will be done, people questions, community with other people who are in this event. And we have such great membership going on there. So welcome to everybody. So let me just double check this Zoom room one more time. I think we're good to go. Awesome. I will go ahead and share my presentation for tonight, and we will, yeah. So go ahead in the chat and say your name and what location you're tuning in from tonight. I know that we have people from all over the country tonight. It's very exciting. I know that because I know where we where we were talking to people. So we had a lot of people coming in from Texas tonight, Virginia, North Carolina, Arizona, New York, and Illinois, as well as some people from New Jersey and from Florida. So the things that I share tonight are going to be really helpful to you. no matter where you are, because we're not just giving you information of your bioregion, we're strengthening the way that you go about bioregionality and the ability to create your own communities. So we start with you, we strengthen you with our unique process, and then we're going to help you actually grow your community. That's the whole session on Friday. Thursday night is our session on medicine making. Wednesday is our practical herbal apothecary, which is a very popular training. And Tuesday night, tomorrow, is our gardening. So we are giving you the tools to assess and reflect now to become more self-reliant and resilient. Okay. So thanks again for being here, and let's get started with this presenting view here. All right. So okay, oh gosh. Oh, you know what? I just admitted someone who's from Australia. So we have some friends we've had in our network for a very long time, from Australia as well. So welcome, welcome. That's a lot of time ahead of us. Welcome to become an herbalist. The focus for our training is we are going to be helping you understand a way for making great impact. And we're going to, actually go over here. I'm sorry. Um, my name is Laura Baum, and I've had a decade of herbal industry and wellness industry experience. I wanted to just right off the bat tell you that I've been in this for a decade. I studied under some of the best and well-known teachers, and I give back to those teachers regularly. I believe that it's a full circle, a full cycle. We need to give back and take care of our elders. I'm a big fan of that. I pivoted from an in-person farmers market model to a hybrid because I wanted to make a bigger impact and reach more places with my work. And I have a pet cat named Toffee. And I got into herbalism because a plant made me stop and look at it. That's a true story. I can tell you another time. And I used to live in New York City. Is where I went to college. My focus in college and basically my entire childhood was theater. I did a lot of theater growing up. And I started into early childhood education and became a teacher, which is something that I've been in education for 20 years in private and public schools. So I've had a lot of different kinds of roles and ways of working with kids and adults over the years. My favorite food's pierogies. I'm great at socializing, but I vastly prefer my quiet time. How about you? So this situation this week is great if you are like really interested in getting some tools to take action in your health. Our focus is helping you make a bigger impact on your personal health. We will first help you establish alignment with your health goals, and then we will help you set up core activities for natural healing, and then that will give you a deeper opportunity for your own development. So you will understand what you want to change in your health, and you'll have an action plan with our unique process. So the first step is phase one, shifting and self-healing. And self-healing has become a very popular phrase, and it does not mean not going to visit doctors, right? Like you have to visit a doctor at some point. I am not one of those extreme people who's anti-doctor. I have an EpiPen. I know when I have to go to the doctor. The thing that became different for me is learning how to manage my body and becoming body literate enough so I can help myself just as much as I go to the doctor. So this work that I'm going to be helping you implement this week is complements your doctor's visits. It complements your already existing RX and OTC that you are already on or need to be on. And in many cases, it can reduce the need for those things. I've seen amazing miracles happen with just one or two herbs, or I've seen things happen with like one or two holistic solutions. The problem that a lot of people are telling me, because I've talked to thousands of people about their health over the last decade, because again, I was a vendor at hundreds of markets a year. I showed up and talked to many, many people about health. The big problem was that they're like, well, the doctor just automatically prescribed me something, and I would have preferred him to tell me that this would have been good for me, that turmeric would have been good for me, or ginger would have been good for me, instead of having to do the surgery. Because I have seen people mitigate surgeries and mitigate serious procedures because they were on herbs and they were able to do it naturally. So self-healing is about knowing yourself, your process, your body, and noticing changes that happen when directly working with these solutions. Self-healing is also a belief that you can use tools confidently to provide health for yourself. Can I get an amen, right? Because we all do things for ourselves already to help ourselves feel better, feel more comfortable, feel more relaxed. And that is a very important thing to tap into and then build a system around. So we after we do today's training, tomorrow we'll do the garden and the supply line. That also includes foraging. I'll help you create your own strategy for where you're going to be, no matter what kind of a grower you are, how much of a green thumb you are, or how much of a brown thumb you are. Because everybody, if you're going to take herbs, you have to have what? You have to have a supply line, a reliable supply line that's local, waste-free, sustainable, non-toxic, not full of metals, not full of plastics, not from far away all the time, right? It's crazy that some of our best suppliers, though reliable and consistent, still rely on supply lines from out of this country, right? I'm in Richmond, Virginia. We've got passion flower everywhere, and yet passion flower is and our main distributors are mainly imported from Italy, right? Because that's the chains that were created. But we can create our own chains, can't we? We can create our own networks here. We can create our own self-reliant, self-sustaining communities, and that's what we're all about here. And then on day 3, our practical apothecary. Day 4, making healthy food and products. So those really the things that you need to have go into strong formulations, potent herbal medicines, very popular training, those two. And then we're going to be going into a little bit more guided learning. And so that's going to be some formulation and research support, because why, how are you going to know what your goals should be if you don't know how to research those goals? Most people are Googling. A lot of people who come into my herbalism community have Googled a plant issue, and they're trying to figure out, like a health issue, what to do. And so this is part of this process, going deeper in the work with the guidance of me, an experienced herbal mentor, to how you're going to use these herbs confidently and regularly. And it is there that you'll get these customizations, guidance, protocols, best herbal books, and resources. So what brought you here today? Go ahead and in the chat, let me know. Let your community know. And if you want to, share a post in the Facebook group about where you want to be, because you signed up for a reason. You saw my ad or my message and something clicked. It connected. The way that the information was presented connected you. Most likely, it connected to you to the fact that you want to be more connected to nature. You want the information and you want the power that comes with understanding the ways that nature can be implemented in daily health concerns, but also, how to garden, how to grow, how to connect with plants, how to identify plants, right? They are out there. And like I said in the beginning of this conversation, it was a plant that started talking to me. It was the passion flower, actually. And there's an article from the paper that talks about my story, because it was a big reason, big catalyst for me to stop and realize that nature is speaking to us. It wants us to deeply connect, and we have to take action to do it. Like all relationships. Yes, I really want you here, and my job is to provide meaningful information. But more important for me is to be an advocate for you, to take advocacy for yourself this week. I talk to a lot of people about health, and too many people are not choosing to take care of themselves. Lots of obstacles come up. I'm here to say that you are allowed this time to think and act differently. So I will provide an action-based framework that if you follow, you will have results in as little as 30 days. And I know there's a lot of those kinds of gay-based promises, but I'm telling you, this is a system that I use in my life, someone who's had serious autoimmune issues, where there were days where I couldn't even leave my house. I couldn't go to
Well, if
work. I was
you could
avoiding all
go ahead,
kinds of
you're,
things.
you're
You should
advised.
not be touching food.
That's what I'm,
And just please put yourself on mute, please. And I want to make sure that we are sharing here, because it's not just the information that you seek, it is the action you take. Okay. We're going to help you. So let's get into this. We're going to help you get something towards a basic framework for action to enhance the benefits of your other services, because a lot of people are trying different things. And this is the way to make it all come together in one cohesive way, right? Because many of us are like, well, let me try acupuncture. I think I should try yoga. I think I should try steaming, but we're not consistently doing it well enough to make it into a system. It has to be routine. Routines is where we will see a lot of change. So again, welcome to Become an Herbalist. And I am Laura Baum. I'm the founder of Laura's Botanicals. Okay, let's get into this, you guys. If you're excited, say yes, let's go on. I'm ready. Get out those workbooks or get out some paper and pencil if you don't yet have your workbook printed out, or if you don't want to work digitally, or if you want to have a journal beside you. This is the time to get that out because we're about to be going into some of our goal setting tonight. So routines are the gateways. We know now that supplementation and reductionism models don't provide total care, right? We know that when we go to the doctor, we're not getting everything. Okay? Most people know that. We're told to lose weight and then we don't get actual strategies on how to lose weight. We're told to decrease our blood pressure, but we're given a blood pressure med instead of proper holistic nutrition-based protocol in addition to our medication. People are only getting sicker with each new prescription because each new prescription offers more symptoms, right? So in my group, and I will share again with everybody an email, my intake form. If you are on tonight's call and you're like, that's me to a T, fill out that form. It'll take you 20 minutes and I can give you custom health information. We can get on a call and I'll make sure that you get some guidance and perspectives to help you, because the more complicated the medications are, the more careful we have to be to navigate you to holistic solutions, right? We have to make sure that everything is tailored correctly. And this is a great program for everybody, but I want to make sure that we understand that when you're starting herbs and holistic solutions, that they really do work and they really do help detoxify the body too. And so we ideally want to bring as many people in who have general health concerns, general everyday, that won't complicate you, right? And we're going to stick to that. But if you do have a more serious known health concern with a lot of highly tuned, tailored medications, fill out that form, and we have a spot for you too. Okay. And a lot of the cases, these everyday stuff will not bother with it, but we want to make sure. Okay. So blue zone research, who's heard of blue zones? Go ahead in the chat if you've heard of blue zones and where they are. It has shown us that health, which we can define as being integrative, finding vitality, finding longevity, right? It's not just about, amount of time you get back. It's how you live that time, right? How you feel, the energy you feel, being able to move your muscles, being limber. And these can be found in routines. Blue zone people who live the longest and live the best, they don't supplement. They have routines, core routines. And that's my process. It includes gardening, community engagement, the practice of herbal medicine, and general stress reduction practices. Stress is the number one accelerator for chronic illness in this country, and honestly, in the developed Western world. Okay, but most people don't deal with it, and doctors definitely don't deal with it. Okay, they know it's an accelerator clinically, but we don't deal with it, and medications don't handle stress. They don't do it. So it's not the pill or even the herb that you take, it's how you take it, right? And infused into your routines should be vision. Yay, that's my favorite part. Let's go. We're going to write in a second. I hope you're ready, because vision is the reason why so many people do not make it past the first 3 days of the resolutions for the new year. Okay, why vision? Why? Because if you're emotionally connected and attached to your health journey and goals, guess what, guys? You're going to do it. If you have a long-term idea of where you want to go, where you want to be, what you do not want, you're going to be more successful with changing your lifestyle habits and your health habits. I know this for a fact. I had no vision. I had a really hard time organizing my thoughts. I had a really hard time keeping up with the chaos, and everything was always happening. There was always more and more problems. I wasn't really able to keep up with everything, and I was overwhelmed to the point of stagnation. So we need to have that vision first. So go ahead in the notes, in the chat, go ahead and make sure you are muted. Please check your stuff, please. Sorry. Just check your stuff. Write out your personal health vision for 2025. Practice your your writing here. My vision for ideal health. So I did this a few weeks ago. at the beginning of the new year. I do it every new year, and I do it every 120 days. And it took me just a few minutes to do this, right? It just took me a few minutes. So this is a word. This is a word that you want to feel, that at the end of 2025, you're going to say, you know what? I feel this is how I want to feel. I want to embrace this. This is what I want to be. This is who I want to be. And this is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff. Is it more energy? So is it energetic? Is it self-loving? Is it surviving? That's okay. It's okay if it's that extreme. And you don't have to share your word in the chat if you don't want to. This is your word. You put it somewhere significant in your life, somewhere where you see it every day or every other day, piece of paper where it is standing out to you. So many times we have vision for finances, vision for education, our family, but not for our health. Why? Why don't we have so much emotional investment in our health? Why do we put ourselves on the back burner? And then that's the word, my vision and my word. There you go, right? These are powerful things, right? This is what you're saying at the beginning of 2026. Did I succeed in this? What are examples of me stepping into this? What examples can I refer to and reflect on that proved I was this? I stepped into this vision. And then the first 100 days of 2025, we're already 30 days in, which is crazy, right? This is the point where people are dropping off their resolutions because it was all about, I have to do this and not, I want to, or this is how I'm going to feel when I do this. Goal setting and how we do goal setting is different. You know, we have to be able to see ourselves in it. We have to find our alignment with it. And we have space in that workbook, but if you need to write down these questions, and again, I will be sending out the replay so you can go through these slides and take more time, as much time as you need to really facilitate this for yourself. You can make as many goals as you want in writing, but choose up to 4 goals. And those are going to be your only goals for the first 100 and 150 days of the year. Okay. This is about you. This is about focusing in and aligning your efforts for where you want to go and what you want to see happen. So this is going to require you paying attention to yourself a bit. This is going to require you taking a moment to reflect on, okay, how have I been feeling? And what things do I really think I need to focus on when it comes to my body, my health, my spirit, my mental health? Because in holistic health, in herbalism, it's integrative. Healing is integrative. It's all of those aspects. We don't reduce you down to a body. You are a full person. And it's okay to put those kinds of words in here. And then if you could, a theme. A lot of people fail to implement real changes in their health because, again, they lack that vision, scope, and focus. So, by eliminating the clutter, the noise, and distractions, you will be much more effective at hitting your goals. And with your vision, you will stay energized and motivated. Makes sense, right? Tell me in the chat if that makes sense. Okay, so example themes could be a body affinity, like I want to focus on my lungs. Period. I want to focus on my mental health. Period. I want to focus on decreasing inflammation, right? It's all about personal wisdom. We accept anecdotal knowledge. Anecdotal knowledge is power. So let me be less wordy. What that means is day to day people. In herbalism and homeopathy and traditional medicine that's existed since ancient times, we accept people's stories and people's truths in medicine. If I witness someone recovering with the use of a certain plant, that is accepted as fact. It doesn't have to be proven by clinical study. If I know a neighbor and she's always had a certain issue and she's always eaten that plant for that, guess what? That is wisdom. That is information. So, what are those things for you? What are those things in your life that you accept as fact because you've seen it, you've witnessed it? What health issues have you gone through that you've naturally dealt with? that you know, or things that you've dealt with non-natural, with medicine. We all are stronger because we can come to each other and, as a soundboard, collectively help one another because we have shared human experiences, right? But what are your challenges? Let's get real for a second because we have a couple more minutes tonight, and I'm going to go 2 minutes later because I started 2 minutes late, and I apologize again for coming in late. Okay. But let's get real for a second. It's one thing to have your vision, and congrats for doing that. Congrats for getting it started. If you haven't gotten it started, I know that you will. By the end of this week, it's going to be strong for you. And there's a reason why we do this first. It sets up everything for the week. It sets up all the other sessions. I'm not going to just give you information. I'm going to make sure you have action. It's one thing to have your vision, but the real proof is the implementation. You need to understand, what do you know about yourself that can get in the way right now? What challenges do you perceive happening that will keep you from hitting your goals? Okay. It's time to get real, because that is how you are able to fix things. It's one thing to imagine what you want, but we have to set that goal up realistically. And once you have that realistic goal, guess what? You can reverse engineer back to it. All the steps are going to be able to do it. Vision work is great, planning is great, but action is when change occurs, and action creates clarity. And routines are that pathway to effectiveness. All right. So I hope that this was an amazing journey for you. I think by giving ourselves a little bit more time to write on this, explore, figure out, like, well, what in the heck should I focus on? Well, what are some of the things that you've been dealing with health wise that you wish you had a natural solution for? That's a really good place to start. Making those list of goals and then finding the ones that resonate the most, the ones that need to be prioritized, the ones that feel the most emotional. We believe that everyone has it in them to help their own lifestyle, to be their own self-advocate. It starts at home. If you go to that yoga class with that yoga mat and that yoga outfit and that yoga spray and all that stuff, you take the class, right? So why don't we have the same kind of setup in our home? Those blue zone routines are the way. I've seen it happen. I've had clients over the years who took my training years ago, message me and say, oh, I still make that product. I still make that recipe that we made together years ago. Or I still come about it the same way because they created their own vision-based space, their own momentum, their own cycles that help them remind them that they are supposed to be doing this work on their own, to stay motivated, to stay really in touch with nature, and to be using the herbs. We don't want people to be standing in front of that herb counter or herb cabinet anymore, looking at all of the herbs and just saying, where do I start? Where do I start? How do I include this? How do I keep up with this? I don't even know why I bought that. I forgot about that, right? So tomorrow we'll talk about that. We'll talk about less waste, growing the garden, finding a way to get those plants to you, and doing it with success and within this theme that you've chosen tonight, because that'll be the automatic way to reduce waste, right? If you're only focusing on a certain area of health, you will only need herbs for that area of health for now. Does that make sense? Within your scope as a practitioner, we're all going to hone in on certain things that inspire you and strengthen your convictions. And that is how we're all going to help each other grow herbalism in a much more in-depth and a deeper way. I know it's the same thing as in-depth. I just couldn't really figure out a second word for that, right? We have to be able to lean on each other, not just in a top-down hierarchical, I'm a professor, you're a student, talk down kind of way, in a rounder conversation soundboarding kind of way. Community. Over the years, that's the number one thing people have wanted. Community. Community first. I don't have people in my area who believe in what I do. Well, I didn't either. So I created a community, and now I'm going to teach you exactly what I learned. That's all day 5. All right. Thank you so much for a great first night. I believe that the chat is just blowing up. It's beautiful. And I'm saving it right now. Thank you so much. Look out for the replay page. And tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we will be meeting again and look for dates in the Facebook group as well, including activities for you to participate in for some giveaway points this week. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.